So today's flight is brought to you by Anyfab. The crack inspectors, they will inspect any crack. You've got a crack, they'll inspect it. So the idea of this little plane is over the last probably 6 or 8 months, a whole lot of people have been getting these cheap chuck gliders and they've been modifying them to make them into planes. And I guess Sir Andrew Newton did one of these. Now if you live in Australia, you're familiar with the reject shop. These are $5, so I bought 3 of these. What I've done is I've glued the wings together. I'll get those really long matchsticks, the red-headed matchsticks, use those as skewers. I've put 2 of those in there to hold the wings together, just taped it in there and dug out the center for the servos, cut the tail off and just put some Corflute on there, just scribed 100mm into that and then stuck that in there, so it's only yank and bank. These are aluminium push rods, and basically those horns are just stuck on there. And we're running some of these Bixler motor mounts for the wings. Got some little 1804 2400 kV motors with some 4-inch Triprops. We're running these crappy little 10 amp Turnigy Multistar escs. Every time you go to power this thing up, you've got to calibrate these, otherwise you don't get the travel. But anyway, that's it. 3 cell up there. Sort of got the CG sitting round about 1/3 of the way back on the wing. So a little twin engine yank and bank. Absolutely no wind. Do want to put some FPV gear on this eventually. So does it go up? Yeah. And goes down. Okay, that's working pretty well. Happy with that. So that's a little 500 milliamp hour 3 cell, and I've got hardly any throttle on that. I'm thinking about putting just one of those 1 cell tiny little FPV cameras on it. I must admit I'm not real happy with those ESCs. I don't know why I've got to keep calibrating it each time, but if I plug a new battery in, the throttle doesn't start till it's about 3/4 of the way up, or the props don't go. We are going to try some aerobatics. We'll see how that goes for us. So yeah, click him on, give ourselves a bit more throw. Couple of low passes. Get here a bit. I don't know. See how we go with the roll. The beauty of the twin engine is you can just roll him straight in, no torque. Heart is pumping like a bitch. You can hear it in my ears. So it's not really meant for aerobatics. It's just meant for this sort of flying around nice, something you've made, something you can accomplish yourself. Roll rate's awesome, isn't it? Those ailerons do have a lot of authority. I'm not going to try a loop because I'm really not confident with those ESCs. With the twin engines, if one gets out of sync, you just go into like a spiral. And that's kind of how it was when I had it, like bench testing it, giving it full grunt. I had 3 tests, 2 of them, like the motors got out of sync and it started to want to turn left, and then next one it wanted to turn right. So that tells me if I give it too much grunt, I'm going to get like an uncontrollable differential thrust on the motors. Look at that. Not into the sun. Absolutely perler of a day. It's a perler because it's no wind, it's a perler because it's sunny, it's a perler because it's a Sunday, and it's a perler because this thing's flying. I guess the next thing to do is to put one of my 3D printed little FPV camera pods on it. And see how it handles the FPV thing. Bring him in land. A little bit hard on the landing there, but it kind of doesn't have much like float, so I'm not going to sort of turn the power off and give it the heads up the top there. We're going with the camera there, we're still recording, so I'll turn that off and we'll turn that off, and that's him.